Joining me now, MicroStrategy's Executive Chairman, Michael Saylor. Michael, I got to give you props, my man. So August 10th, 2020, MicroStrategy adopts its Bitcoin strategy. The experts called you a fool. Thus far, you're crushing everything. I mean, I'm looking at the list. Even Bitcoin you're crushing, but some of these other known, the S&P you're destroying. Google, Microsoft, Apple, you're beating them all by easily. Oracle. So take us back. Take us back to when you made this decision. You knew you would be ridiculed. Why did you do it?
Thanks, Charles, for having me. You know, most corporations are being torn apart by these twin forces of inflation from the government and then technology-driven deflation. So if you're a Main Street company, you're forced to fight for your survival with one hand tied behind your back. If you're going to keep up with the Magnificent Seven, you're going to have to grow your revenues and cash flows 20% a year or faster ad infinitum. You know, so there's 7 companies that generate all the shareholder returns. There's 7,000 companies can't keep up. What we did in August of 2020 was recognize that there's no way we're going to outgrow Google and Microsoft and Apple Computer as a mid-sized software company. So we started looking to do an acquisition of a high-growth digital monopoly of our own. And we realized that Bitcoin is like a high-tech dominant digital network growing at 40 or 50% a year. And so we bought it. It's kept growing 40 or 50% a year. And now we're using our balance sheet to grow the company as well as our P&L. Yeah, what I'm saying is, you know, decapitalizing the company by giving the capital back in a buyback or dividending it out and paying the tax on the dividend or engaging in dilutive acquisitions or pursuing breakneck growth initiatives that may or may not work. All of these things are part of the conventional corporate finance playbook, but they don't work. 99% of the companies are failing using that, and they do it because if they just hold their capital in government securities, they generate 3% after tax, and the cost of capital is 12 to 15%. So Bitcoin is the solution because you can buy Bitcoin, ride a 20 to 40% tax-deferred appreciation. You can beat the cost of capital. And pretty soon you're firing on all cylinders because your balance sheet is generating investor returns as well as your P&L.
Before I let you go, Bitcoin on a tear right now. What do you think, over the next year, what could be some of the drivers that take it higher?
Look, the supply and demand are in balance right now, but after the halving in April, the supply gets cut in half, and after the set of spot ETFs come online, the demand's got at least double. So the only thing that's going to adjust there is the price in order to get the market to clear. And so I think you watch the spot ETFs and you watch for the halving, and the next 12 months are pretty auspicious for the asset class.
So tomorrow I will participate in Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Global Summit on AI safety to continue to advance global collaboration on safe and responsible use of AI. Today I will speak more broadly about the vision and the principles that guide America's work on AI. President Biden and I believe that all leaders, from government, civil society, and the private sector, have a moral, ethical, and societal duty to make sure that AI is adopted and advanced in a way that protects the public from potential harm, and that ensures that everyone is able to enjoy its benefits. AI has the potential to do profound good, to develop powerful new medicines, to treat and even cure the diseases that have for generations plagued humanity, to dramatically improve agricultural production, to help address global food insecurity, and to save countless lives in the fight against the climate crisis. But just as AI has the potential to do profound good, it also has the potential to cause profound harm. From AI-enabled cyber attacks at a scale beyond anything we've seen before, to AI-formulated bioweapons that could endanger the lives of millions of people. These threats are often referred to as the existential threats of AI, because, of course, they could endanger the very existence of humanity. These threats, without question, are profound, and they demand global action. But let us be clear, there are additional threats that also demand our action, threats that are currently causing harm, and which to many people also feel existential. Consider, for example, when a senior is kicked off his health.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Support this great content by hitting the Cash App and by joining the Patreon.
And we have the spokesperson, Michael Saylor, again. And we know his name should say Morgan Stanley. But he tells the truth about the Magnificent Seven. When we had the AI pop, only those stocks received the benefit. And over the last several years, we have Bitcoin being the best asset. But guys, we know this is all controlled by the Fed, AI, and Bitcoin. We know the Fed is printing the money, and we know when we see the pumps, we can see the Fed right behind it. Every Bitcoin pump, you can see the central bank's fingerprints. Now we have teamwork makes the dream work. Patreon member sent me this video, but I had already watched it. I was going to save it for a Patreon video, but I'm going to put a couple clips here. We have the Vice President Kamala Harris talking about protecting humanity when it comes to AI. Guys, we know technology can be used for good or evil. And the only thing you have to do is answer to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Is this technology in good hands or is it in evil hands? And we know they're going to sell the people that AI is here to help you. But then on the flip side, we know cyber attacks, bioweapons, algorithms, deep fakes, bias. And we already see the bots playing the Hegelian dialectic. And we see all these articles being pumped out. You don't know what's real or what's fake. And then what I want you to do is add in the metaverse when it comes to all this technology. And that's what people are leaving out because they want to take this real world and put it into the virtual world. Remember, guys, the NWO is always going to dangle that carrot until they get to the goal. And we know the sheep are going to fall for the entertainment and the free bread. We've seen this movie before. And then we have King Charles. That's right, guys. This should remind you about something that's almost 4 years old. But King Charles tells you how powerful this AI is going to be and how it's going to transform your life. Now, guys, a crypto teacher wrote about it a long time ago. And now with this channel almost 4 years old, I've been telling you about it for a long time. Guys, wake your friends and family, because you do not want to be caught on the wrong side of history. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
Care plan because of a faulty AI algorithm. Is that not existential for him? When a woman is threatened by an abusive partner with explicit, deepfake photographs, is that not existential for her? When a young father is wrongfully imprisoned because of biased AI facial recognition, is that not existential for his family? And when people around the world cannot discern fact from fiction because of a flood of AI-enabled mis- and disinformation, I ask, is that not existential for democracy? Accordingly, to define AI safety, I offer that we must consider and address the full spectrum of AI risk, threats to humanity as a whole, as well as threats to individuals, communities, to our institutions, and to our most vulnerable populations. We must manage all these dangers to make sure that AI is truly safe. So many of you here know, my mother was a scientist, and she worked at one of our nation's many publicly funded research universities, which have long served as laboratories of invention, creativity, and progress. My mother had two goals in her life: to raise her two daughters and end breast cancer. At a very early age then, I learned from her about the power of innovation to save lives, to uplift communities, and move humanity forward. I believe history will show that this was the moment when we had the opportunity to lay the groundwork for the future of AI. And the urgency of this moment must then compel us to create a collective vision of what this future must be. A future where AI is used to advance human rights and human dignity, where privacy is protected and people have equal access to opportunity, where we make our democracies stronger and our world safer. A future where AI is used to advance the public interest.
We are witnessing one of the greatest technological leaps in the history of human endeavor. The rapid rise of powerful artificial intelligence is considered by many of the greatest thinkers of our age to be no less significant, no less important than the discovery of electricity, the splitting of the atom, the creation of the World Wide Web, or even the harnessing of fire. AI holds the potential to completely transform life as we know it, to help us better treat and perhaps even cure conditions like cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's, to hasten our journey towards net zero and realize a new era of potentially limitless, clean, green energy, even just to help us make our everyday lives a bit easier. However, if we are to realize the untold benefits of AI, then we must work together on combating its significant risks too. AI continues to advance with ever greater speed towards models that some predict could surpass human abilities, even human understanding. There is a clear imperative to ensure that this rapidly evolving technology remains safe and secure. And because AI does not respect international boundaries, this mission demands international coordination and collaboration. To support this global effort, the United Kingdom is proud to host this summit in Bletchley Park, the birthplace of modern computing, where Alan Turing famously cracked the Enigma code and laid the foundations for a new digital age. Transitions like the one AI is heralding always present profound challenges, especially in preparing for unintended consequences. It is incumbent on those with responsibility to meet these challenges, to protect people's privacy and livelihoods, which are essential to both our economic and psychological well-being, to secure our democracies from harm, and to ensure the benefits of new technology are shared by all. I've always believed in the importance of holding a conversation, both within and across societies, to address such great challenges, of bringing governments and the public sector together with civil society and the private sector in that conversation, adhering to the values, tenets of faith, and laws that we all hold so dear. That is how the international community has sought to tackle climate change, to light a path to net zero, and safeguard the future of our planet. We must similarly address the risks presented by AI with a sense of urgency. unity and collective strength. So, on behalf of the United Kingdom, I want to thank you all for the vital role you are playing in this shared endeavour, for laying the foundations of a lasting consensus on AI safety, and for ensuring that this immensely powerful technology is indeed a force for good in this world.
They understand it, they see it, and they don't like it. They don't like it because it's political warfare, as you would call it, or political lawfare. Another name, they got a lot of names for it. But usually it takes place in third world countries and banana republics. And nobody's ever seen that to this extent. We've never seen it there. But we will go along and we will hopefully do very well in every regard. We'll win the election and we'll make America great again. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make America great again. But we have to take away from the thugs that we deal with and the horrible people that actually must hate our country to do this. But we will we'll fight very hard for our country. Thank you very much, everyone.
Closely watched cash hoard. Berkshire now sitting on $157.2 billion. That's up from the high of $149.2 billion that was set in the third quarter of 2021. And I think it's up $10 billion from the year ago numbers.
If we hear that he puts 10% of that in Bitcoin, that would be a big headline. That would be a really big,
that would be a
that would
I
help
don't believe it headline.
That would really help that would get, I mean, that'd be even bigger than an than a spot ETF. Just hope springs eternal. I don't know, maybe cracks open a Bitcoin standard or something. Might happen. You never know.
No, I pretty much do.
It will.
It's not going to happen on Buffett's
He's going to get together with Larry Fink.
Well,
right?
Now that happened though. How'd Fidelity? But really, as we go through life in 2023, would anything surprise you this year? Again?
That would.
That would.
That would.
I would say no.
Yeah.
No, I think the world is. I think it's tilted on its axis. I think it's insane. I think something's wrong. I think we may go flying off into the cosmos.
I wouldn't argue with you there.
And we have the Trump movie going on. And Trump testified today. But before he went in, he said he's there to help fight for this country. Guys, who is he fighting? What is he fighting for? That's what he always leaves out. And we know all this money printing happened while he was in office. We know a lot of things happened while he was in office. They just transferred over to Biden. But remember, Trump made executive orders on research on fintech and crypto. Trump did executive orders and research on AI, driverless cars. Remember what I told you, that the sheep are going to fall for a great deception. And then, guys, we have Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway with over $157 billion sitting in cash. And I think Apple has about $162 billion. And yes, guys, you heard that correct. They have more cash sitting on the sidelines than majority of these corporations sitting on the stock market cap. The times that we're living in is unbelievable. These corporations have gotten too big. But remember in the NWO book, I tell you that the corporations are going to be your new government. And now they're going to have robots, algorithms, and drones to replace humanity. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.